Cable Bahamas has always been considered the innovator.
People can have confidence in Cable Bahamas as a mobile operator because of our past history. We've proven to the Bahamian community that we are in fact able to manage additional services as a telecommunications company.
Customers expect the best from Cable Bahamas.
The technology that we bring is revolutionary technology because we know that the Bahamian public, they deserve it, and Cable Bahamas is here to bring it to them.
We are ready. Turn us on.
The company at the center of the Renwood Wells LOI scandal speaks out. Electricians on the Baha Mar project demand payment. A former AG slams government on the Alfred Gray controversy, plus a police officer's son killed. We've got those stories and a whole lot more tonight. I'm Vonique Toot and NV12 starts now. Topping news tonight, months after the letter of intent scandal, which cost Bamboo Town MP Renwood Wells his job in the Ministry of Works, the company at the center of that controversy is speaking out tonight. Simone Davis reports.
After commending the government for its decision to select PowerSecure as the new management partner for BEC, Stellar executives say they are encouraged that the Christie administration is taking huge steps forward with the overall energy reform for the Bahamas. When asked his thoughts on the LOI scandal from last year, Chief Operating Officer J.P. Michelson said the company only requested a document to allow them to conduct and provide engineering studies to the government at its own cost. Michelson said if the right person signed the document, the LOI scandal would not exist.
Well, first and foremost, we never asked for a letter of intent. What we asked for at the time was a comfort document that showed intent and that we could take to potential investors as well as our technical team, showing that there was a possibility of doing a waste energy project in the Bahamas down the line. What I feel about the entire LOI, it's a prime example of how something very, very positive for the country turns into something very negative.
Earlier this year, Wells defended his reasoning for signing the LOI, explaining that the document only gave Stellar authorization to seek government's approval for research on the possibility of a waste-to-energy plant. However, his signature on that document led to him being fired from his post as parliamentary secretary in the Ministry of Works. Michelson said the entire incident threw a curveball at the company.
It did throw us a curveball because in this day and age, you just Google something, and obviously when you're talking to investors about a large project, a large-scale project that is very positive, that has a very good potential return for them, and then when they Google waste-to-energy Bahamas or waste-to-energy Stellar or whatever it might be, and the only thing you see is constant bad press about a certain document that was given to us, of course it did make things a little bit more complicated for us.
He added that the only way they dealt with it was to keep silent and not get involved in the politics.
Fortunately, when the document was given to us, I was not really full-time involved with Stellar Energy, but and it was signed by the wrong person, so it became political. Something that we as a business don't get involved in. So.
He noted that there was also a major misconception that the company received $650 million to carry out their research. But according to Michelson, that was not true.
And the biggest misconception, and I said it earlier on too, the biggest misconception of this entire LOI is still the fact that people thought that we were given a contract for a $650 million plant. Guaranteed contract that we would build it, and that is totally false. That is totally false. The only thing we were asked to do in this particular document was to do the remainder of the FEL studies. But unfortunately, the wrong person signed it. And guess what? Mr. Wells lost his job over it.
The COO confirmed that the company has secured $650 million for the project, which will cover 100% of the budget cost. He added that they've already spent $2 million to complete phase 1 of the research project. Stellar executives say as of now, the company is exactly where it wants to be, and it's ready to move forward with the research, but it's waiting on clear direction from the government on its next step. Reporting for NB12, I'm Simone Davis.
A group of Bahamian electricians working on the multi-billion-dollar Baha Mar project claim they have not been paid for 6 weeks and are calling on government to step in before they are forced to resort to violence. The men say they have reached their breaking point as many of them have families to take care of and can no longer afford to meet their obligations.
We need our money. We desperately need our money. Shane Gibson, Mr. Perry Christie, you all come try straighten this out because we need our money before it gets to violence. And all of these brothers come around here, we got to pay rent, car payment, stuff and things to pay.
A group of angry electricians employed by a subcontractor on the Baha Mar project are demanding money they claim they're owed. With the multi-billion-dollar project winding down, workers fear they may never get paid. That's why they showed up outside Yates Osprey's administrative offices located in the old Crystal Palace building today and banged on the door.
The electricians, the plumbers, the carpenters, the masons, everybody wait for Yates and Osprey. I surprised they get the door open. They's talking us through the door, King. They ain't even open the door. They talking us through the door, man. That's ignorant. You can't be like that.
These workers say about 70 of them haven't been paid in 6 weeks and are tired of getting the runaround. They attempted to get answers from an employee who spoke with them through a cracked door.
You're not carrying on with me.
No, we're not carrying on. We're not carrying on with
you. Yeah, you're getting loud and you're talking about the door and the things that
No, I'm just through the door. Let's close.
So my thing is, I have no answers for you because I didn't sit down in no room with you.
The employee agreed to make inquiries but could not give them a timeline for payment. However, workers say that's not good enough.
Every day you watch them. Every day. And you ain't saying no to Jesus thing, but you come to this door like, I could dish out check?
No, hold on. You had the wrong interpretation. Because you wasn't even doing that. You wasn't here.
You work every day?
No, but then you would know my face then. Okay? You would know my face. All right? If you talking foolishness, man, you ain't saying nothing.
Carlos Roberts, who has worked on the multi-billion-dollar project for just over a year, says his inability to bring home a paycheck in weeks is now affecting his home life.
Bad. My family and my wife and all mad things. She get paid to this one, the next one, and definitely that all of the rent. If I got insured my car the days, my boy, they even can't buy myself a soda. You understand? I said, now I got to go break my fixed account, but I had saving for maybe for my future. Now I have to go break that and dig in that because they ain't paying me. Now I have to go pay up all my bills, and when I break that, you got to keep digging in your money. That's gone.
Do you have any kids?
I have one and 2 grandsons. This my grandchildren them radio, man. This one clinic in KV, and this my grandson radio. And all them dependent on Papa and things like that, and I ain't get it. And see them doing my grandchildren radio.
Father of 3, Jermaine Curry, says he too is fed up.
It ain't fair at all. Like I said, all us have family, all us have kids to feed. At the end of the day, how we could go home to our family and say, look here, we ain't get paid, but yet still be working.
And how many people do you have depending on money?
I have 3 kids.
Young children?
The oldest one's 16, and I live with my Grammy.
Mama Shane Gibson, you need to come here, boy. You need to come here. People ain't vote for you all left to sit down in them office and don't fight for us and think, man, we behemoth.
Mervyn Bethel says of the 100 people employed as electricians by the subcontractor, only 30 of them have been paid, but not in full. He says some of them have now fallen on hard times and have nowhere to live.
You have guys over 100 or so guys. You're talking just electricians alone. You know, some guys sleeping in their vehicles, in their cars. They got their family, their little young babies. And this been going on for 6 weeks. 6 weeks. Everybody getting paid except the black man, all right, which is the labor force.
Bethel estimates he is owed around $60,000.
Every major development goes on this Bahamas, I was a part of. Exuma, I was a part of. Atlantis Phase 1, 2, and 3, I was a part of. Even the British Hilton, I was a part of. And Freeport, I was a part of. This is the first time in the history of construction in terms of electrical where you cannot get your monies. You're being laid off, you've been terminated for 6 weeks, 6 weeks ago. You're trying to tell me now, after 6 weeks, you're still here trying to get your monies. You know, what's the justice in that? What is the justice in that?
MB12 contacted officials at Osprey Construction's head office for comment. However, we were told no one who can speak to the matter is in office. We also reached out to Baha Mar officials who instructed us to speak with the subcontractor. Speaking of Baha Mar, Prime Minister Perry Christie has revealed the developer and its main contractor are facing an impasse, with Baha Mar unable to get word on an opening date and the contractor failing to commit to such a date until Baha Mar makes certain payments. Christie says he believes the parties got caught into two very strong positions that represented the developer wanting to have a certain date to finish and contractors wanting to have payments. Christie said he is focused on saving the thousands of Bahamian jobs at Baha Mar. He said he was advised late Tuesday night that they are very close to a settlement. The project has faced 3 delays. It was initially scheduled to open in December 2014, then March 2015. Days before the March opening was expected to take place, Baha Mar announced it was delaying its opening until the first week of May. But in a letter to staff on May 1st, Baha Mar CEO Sarkis Ismerlian advised that the company had been unable to get a commitment from its contractor, China Construction America, on the opening. Free National Movement Senator Carl Bethel charged today that the Christie administration is abusing its power to suppress the truth. Bethel criticized government's handling of the recent controversy surrounding Agriculture Minister V. Alfred Gray's alleged judicial interference and House Speaker Dr. Kendall Major's ruling regarding the Public Accounts Committee's investigation into urban renewal. During his contribution today to debate on the law reform and evidence amendment bills, Bethel said there is no way the Attorney General should be deciding on the Gray matter.
Because the Attorney General should not be purporting to assess evidence or to determine, because there's a clash, so-called clash of evidence. The PS signed something, the minister signed something, the complainant magistrate said something and probably signed something, but he said he was intimidated by the minister. Those words enough are sufficient for action to have been taken by a responsible and reasonable government that was concerned to protect the integrity of the system of justice and the administration of justice in the Bahamas. The magistrate say, I felt intimidated. Let the court decide that.
Last Friday, Attorney General Allison Maynard Gibson announced that no one will face criminal charges over the Gray matter. Gray has been under the spotlight since it was alleged that he told Mayaguana Administrator Zephaniah Newbold, acting in his capacity as a local magistrate, to release a man he had convicted and sentenced. Bethel said this case is the best argument for creating an independent office of the Director of Public Prosecutions, taking the direct responsibility of criminal matters out of the hands of the AG.
We sought to give that power to the Director of Public Prosecutions. The Bahamian people in their wisdom did not support us in that.
Right, there you go, that's important.
No, we therefore established that office within the parameters of the Office of the Attorney General and tried to give it the autonomy to be able to deal with these sensitive matters, and reserved to the Attorney General what the Constitution reserves, the right to basically interfere where appropriate.
F&M Senator Michael Pintard has already called for a judicial review of the matter and added his party will continue to agitate for Gray's removal from cabinet. The young son of a police officer was found dead in the middle of the street this morning. Police say they are treating the matter as a possible homicide. Head of the Central Detective Unit, Chief Superintendent Paul Roll, says the victim's body was discovered on Faith Avenue and St. Vincent Road. He reportedly suffered from blunt force trauma to the head.
This male was found around 5:45 a.m. by persons passing in the area. We appeal to persons who would have seen or know anything in regards with this latest incident to reach out to the police and help us to advance this investigation at this time. We are not certain as to how this male came about his injuries at this time.
Rose says the victim has been identified as 23-year-old Beecham Gourier of Croton Road, Carmichael Road. As his body was placed in the back of a van, the victim's crying loved ones looked on from behind crime scene tape. Rose says police are following some leads in this matter.